let's go.
Sponsor us.
Let's go to the first one here with Bill Belichick, who's the biggest name that people always
Father
mention.
time himself.
Yeah, like it's always mentioned because again, we all know Bill Belichick has a love for this franchise. He obviously tasted his first major successes as a Giant when he was a defensive coordinator under Bill Parcells and got 2 rings as an assistant. Obviously that was what started his head coaching jobs after that when he was the head coach for the Browns for a few years after that. And this is a guy again, head coach for the Patriots from 20 to 23. So 24 years, guys, almost a quarter of a century as their head coach. Like that's absolutely insane. Think about it this way. I just graduated high school when he was the coach of the Giants. I'm sorry, coach of the Patriots. Because I graduated in 2020. 2020 in 2000. Sorry. So I just
say, Drew.
yeah,
Wait.
I wish I
What?
graduated in 2020. I'm 22 years old, guys. Don't drink and smoke. This is what you look like then. But anyway, so in 2000, he became the Patriots head coach. I had just graduated high school at this point. Like that was like what he was actually named head coach while I was still in high school technically. And this was the first year this year that he's not a head coach for the Patriots. And I'm 42 now. Like that's ridiculous. That's longevity you don't hear about in modern day football whatsoever. So, so prior to that, he was the Jets defensive coordinator from 97 to 99 under Parcells. Obviously, they had some pretty good success there. He was the defensive backs coach for the Patriots in 96 at the very end of Parcells' time as head coach there. He was the Browns head coach, as we said, from 91 to 95. Giants coach from 97. From 80. Well, hold on one second. What happened?
Oh, I was about to say, what are we doing?
Woo! I got to look over my notes better. It looks like 79. I reversed it. I'm like 97. Wait a minute. 1979 to 1990, including being defensive coordinator from 85 to 90. He started coaching the NFL back in 1975, guys. Think about that. He's about to hit 50 years in the NFL if he coaches next year. That's insane. It's half a century in the NFL. You don't hear about that ever, except for like, once
ever
in a moon kind of guys. Well, yeah, like Don Shula, that's Chuck Noll. Like there's some guys who did for quite a long time, but that's ridiculous, guys. 6-time Super Bowl champion, 3-time AP NFL Coach of the Year, member of the 2000s and 2010s NFL All-Decade Team, was part of the NFL's 100th anniversary all-time team, owns the NFL record for most Super Bowl wins as head coach, most Super Bowl appearances as head coach, most Super Bowl appearances overall, most playoff appearances as a head coach, most divisional championships as a head coach. Has a record of 302 and 165 right now, guys. You cannot find a better person resume wise.
No, and listen, if you're 66%, 2/3 of your football career is winning, like,
yep,
you take that because especially like the NFL is not an easy league. Like, if you're just above 500, if you're just like 55%, like you're typically known as a good coach.
Yep,
because there's just
parity.
Yeah, exactly.
And they had a quarter century of dominance.
Yeah, where he adapted to gameplay and, like you said, NFL loves parity. So you learn the parity and you just already know what you're going to do to counteract the parity that's going to come around to you.
Yep.
And this is what this guy did for the
long time,
better half of a quarter century to, yeah. I mean, you can say a little over, of a quarter century because he was head coach for 30 years, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, basically, if you asked him how long he was an NFL coach for in a Billy Joel song, he would say, "Whoa, oh, for the longest time." Like, this man's been around forever, guys. And again,
we all stayed with the fire. It was always burning. He didn't start the fire. It was always burning.
Oh gosh. Stop being an uptown girl. Anyway, but again, the best resume you will get across your desk basically for a potential head coach. And here's the crazy part. What I'm about to say. I don't want him.
No. HC? No.
72 years old. That's all you got to hear, guys. He'll be 73 before next year starts. You cannot rebuild a team with a guy who's 73 years old as your head coach, because by the time you're any good, let's be honest, guys, you are not expecting to win a Super Bowl next year. Let's be very frank and honest about it. If you're going to rebuild, which we're going to have to, it's going to take a couple years probably to do anything decent. Like, we're not going to turn around and go from the worst team in the NFL to the best team overnight. It's not going to happen. So 73. So you're going to be, what, 76, 77 by the time we're actually...
And his girlfriend's going to be really 24 years old.
Things go well. Can't do that, guys.
But his girlfriend will be 24. You're right. She's going to be 25. I apologize.
I think she's 25 now, but that's a whole separate issue. I'm not going to knock him for that, because if I was 72 and I was single and I got a chance to get a 25-year-old, I'm going for it.
It's amazing. Her father's probably a Bill Belichick fan and asked for an autograph.
That'd be a really weird introduction. But
yeah,
like I said,
I guess who I'm dating is Sky. He's been in the NFL for a long ever.
But again, we've said on the show before, the role that I want for Bill Belichick is to be like we talked about with Coughlin before. A guy who's a VP of operations at that point. A guy who can go in, clean house, get rid of the people that Maris kept around way too damn long, give honest assessments of things, and then go hire a head coach and a GM that he approves of, obviously, because it's his job. I don't want him near draft boards. I do not like the last 5 or 6 drafts he had, basically. I have to look at the exact number, see how long Bark was going, but it just felt like he wasn't good at drafting anymore for whatever reason. And I also want nothing to do with him as a head coach, because, again, I want continuity, and he's not going to be around for a while because of the age. Now, the only way I would be okay with him being a head coach is one way. One way and one way only. If he came as a head coach with a clear plan of action of, I'm going to retire at this point, and this is the person who's going to take over when I'm done. Even then, I wouldn't be.
I don't even know.
I'd be okay with that plan like that.
I don't even know. You're saying, like, all right, I'm going to come in. I'm going to hire XYZ as my defensive coordinator, XYZ as my head offensive coordinator, and one of these guys is going to take over. I don't know yet. You got 2 years of me. Let's see what we can do and who gets hired.
No. I'm saying I want a clear cut. Like, this is my assistant head coach. He's going to take over when I'm done.
Even so, no.
But I also, it can't be Matt Patricia, it can't be Joe Judge, and it can't be Josh McDaniels. That's also part of that. I'm just saying, like, that's
3 is really bad, because that's
no Charlie Weiss, no Romeo Cornell, no.
Yeah.
Like, none of the guys we've already seen off that tree, because they just don't work. It is what it is. Like, you got to be honest about it. So, like I said, that's a no for me. Sounds like a no from you as well, Bob. Bob.
Jeez, where? Who's Bob?
Who are you again? Leave me alone.
If you like that clip, then you will love the full episodes too. Find us on your favorite podcast app and look for us on all your favorite social media platforms.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you.